Are you Mandalorian?
I'm a simple man making his way through the galaxy, like my father before me.
3 Men and a Baby Yoda podcast. Matthew, Dylan, Callan.
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 44 of the 3 Men and a Baby Yoda podcast. I'm Matthew Mole, your host, and joining me tonight are my two, that's right, two. We have a full squad assembled tonight. It's Callan Gardner, my man. How are you?
Oh, I'm back, baby. Feels good to be back.
Not at 100%.
Not at 100%, but it's been a hot minute. I feel like I got ready for a podcast about a month ago, and then I was like, great. Then you guys all flaked, and then it's been one of those things trying to juggle our lives at the moment. We've all got shit going on. So
yeah, we've been massive flakes, but I'm glad we're here tonight. Public holidays. What's the public holiday? It's Labor Day.
Labor Day.
Yeah, we'll take it.
I'll take it. None of you guys wanted to do it last night. Oh, no, Dylan didn't want to go last night because the NRL was on. And then actually I was going to do one with Turbo and Frosty, but then I couldn't be bothered. And I forgot to message both. I've got to message Frosty, and then Matt's like, you want to go? And I was like, exhausted. But the three amigos, the OG crew, we're here. Dylan, how are you, mate?
Doing well. I'm very well.
What's happening in your world?
How crisp Dylan is right now. He's so crisp.
How good do I look? I'm a bit pale. I should put some lighting on, but no, I'm doing well, man. We've had a nice, refreshing long weekend. I had a wedding that I was at for some family yesterday, so it was good.
A wedding on grand final day? That's very selfish.
Oh, it was during the day, so thankfully it finished up. We were able to go home and,
my blessings to that lovely couple.
Right.
Actually, that's the second wedding I've said selfish in 2 weeks, because you were at one last week, weren't you? I said, we recording tonight? And Callan just sends me a video. Nope.
Yeah. Oh, that was on the Sunday. I said to my wife, if Collingwood makes the grand final, I'm telling you, I'll be coming into this thing hungover or pissed. And
it was the same with me yesterday. With Matt's like, are we recording tonight? And I just replied, grand finals on. No.
Yeah. It was that both shit grand finals
and
as well.
What a fucking boring grand final it was, man.
So
Jesus.
bad. So at this, my wife went out for drinks with the girls and left me in charge of the baby with her parents, who are staying with mine for the next 9 months. And so that was like, I did the afternoon shift at the pub so I could watch the grand final with my mate. And at about 9 p.m, they were struggling hard and he couldn't get him to sleep. And I was like, fuck. And I turned to my mate and said, you still want to watch this? He's like, nah, I'm going home. Like 28-0. And then I ended up putting the baby to sleep for the next half an hour, just patting him to bed, showing him, did you watch me? And got him under control. But then I was just knackered by about 9:45, and any chance of any renegade podcast was well and truly over.
We're all getting old, boys.
Getting old, shit on, kids on. That's the way it goes.
What's going to happen if it's not on the cards, but when I have kids? Far out.
Well, we'll be done with those excuses still, so you need to sort it out.
Our kids will be getting old enough to put themselves to bed, so we'll just...
Mate, your kids might be able to babysit mine at that point. Jeez.
Jesus.
Scary
so you're going to have kids at 40, are you?
Probably not. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a big kid person at the moment, to be honest. I like other people's kids.
That makes two of us, mate, and I've got two of them.
Did I see a photo of your kid nude in some desk this morning?
Yeah, undies. Yeah, they were meant to be in the naughty corner. He was climbing into the bottom of the coffee table.
I sent your wife a message saying, paint me like one of your French girls in response to that photo.
Yeah, he was meant to be in timeout. That was funny. But we're prepping to move, so it's just been chaos, and it's kids are just in undies, letting them roll, like trying to toilet train. It's a nightmare, guys.
Oh,
it's a nightmare. Just pissing shit everywhere.
So, Cal, where are you at with your Star Wars at the moment? What have you bought anything? Have you watched anything other than Andor?
No, I've just been really reminiscing with. I watched Andor. I've watched the first 3. Like maybe 1.5 times. I haven't seen or gone through all 3 fully yet, but
all 4.
Well, until today. Like prior to this, about 45 minutes ago, I finished the 4th episode.
Good timing.
But a bit of hype around that, and that was been really good. I'm loving it. I'm loving that piece of it. Harry's got it. My older son, is loving Star Wars. Like, got him into, like, bought him a Lego Snowtroopers.
Oh, nice.
They look sick. Like, they got the speeder and stuff, and he loves it. And I called it. He goes, "What's this?" And I said, "That's a speeder." And then Steph tried to call it a car, and my wife, and he goes, "No, Mum, it's a speeder." Like, he's like,
good on him.
Getting into that stuff. So no, it's going cool. That's about probably all my only purchases, but that's for the boys.
Excellent. Nothing like warehousing through your kids.
Have you added anything to the glass case?
Oh, mate. So I've been making bets with my wife that I know I'm going to win. Like, we had a bet the other day, and it's like, will Santi like this pesto chicken for the second time today? And she's like, I don't think he will. I'm pretty sure he will because I made it. And she go, what's the bet? I go, if you get it right, you can buy whatever you want, some dress or whatever. If I get it right, I'm buying Yoda with snakes from this guy on the Facebook Marketplace. And anyway, dinner time came, gobbled the shit out of it. I was like, fuck yeah. So I've been buying some Kenner stuff. Like,
it's already bought a deal and it just rocks up. It's like, that must have a quick turnaround.
I already bought it and it's just like
arrived the next. It arrived that afternoon. No, I've just been adding a few small bits and pieces here and there. I've just been trawling the marketplace, but yeah, I've picked up a couple of.
Mate, you got to get them up on the socials. Let us see them. Let the squad see them.
I will, mate. I've been getting a few Ewoks.
Put your address there so they.
Few Ugnaughts. Oh my god! Like the other day, I left the garage door open all fucking night, like the whole.
I've done that before.
Yeah, like
but yours is like. And your lights are always on, aren't they?
No, lights are off, luckily, but luckily it's like a steep garage, like down to the garage. But you know, the case was there, unlocked, TV, everything. My father-in-law went and put the rubbish out in the morning, and just to get a message from my wife saying, the garage door's been open all night, and I'm like, but the Kenner toys are still there, right? She's like, yes. I'm like, phew, good.
You do have a steep driveway. That's probably the only thing lucked out.
Well, and also, like, you know, you'd have to like, you know, navigate down there, and then I don't know. Or just, I mean, I just my worst nightmare. I come down and the place is completely ransacked and gone. And I was thinking, would I start again, or would I just be like, okay, I'm done?
No, you'd have to quit the podcast. You have to start it. You'd have to leave it. Can't do that.
I wouldn't quit the podcast. I just quit collecting displayable toys.
It's every time now, that happened to me once. I left it open all day, and someone just goes, "Hey, it's been open all day. I went and shut it for you." That was like a guy renting,
bro. That's
like my neighbor, and I was like, "Oh, really?" He goes, "Yeah." And you know what happens? So I clicked it down. It hit something and went back up, and I drove off. Yeah, dude, it's one of my biggest panics. I reckon I go and check it way too many times after, like. If I ever get that inkling, I'd have to go out and check it. Yeah.
No, ever since then, I've been very careful because
garage door anxiety. It's a big thing. It's a big thing.
Plus, you know, sometimes you might just press the buzzer and it accidentally goes up. And luckily, I live in a good neighborhood, so no, I bet you get robbed tonight.
All the wood, knock on all of it.
I know, but no, I bought some things recently from pop culture. I saw some Corgi Queen style limited edition pops that came released, and so I bought one for me, one for my mum, one for my sister.
Yeah, you're the Corgi gang, eh?
Yeah. And then that was like $60. It was like $20 each, and but it's like, if you get to 100. It's free shipping. Yeah. So I was like, I'm not going to pay $4.95 for shipping. So I bought a Boba Fett Black Series Bo-Katan, 3.75 inch just for the display. And then that got me to $101. And I was like, yes, free shipping. Spent $40 extra. But, free shipping.
That counts. That counts.
Money
for sure.
value, Matt.
It is. I mean, as long as you don't pay for shipping, mentally, like, justify the purchase. And
that's it.
You go. I saw the Razor Crest deal on the weekend in a hobby store.
How much?
Jeez, that's a good looking. I think it was
cool, man. But I still need to
find
a
dildo.
$150 or something.
It's not
150?
expensive. Yeah, and it's a pretty decent size. Like it's, proper.
Oh, the hobby one. Like, okay, I thought you meant like the Hasbro.
No, the Lego.
Yeah.
Oh, the Lego one.
Yeah. And then I saw, you know what I was hoping to see? This, I don't know if it's out yet. The new, I'd love to get that. What's the ship,
the new
ship that he's
starfighter that Mando's flying.
The ship he's flying. Yeah, what's his name? The latest character, the old dude.
Mandalorian.
No, you mean in Andor?
In Andor.
Yeah.
What's that? What's that starfighter?
Luthen Rao. But he's lightsaber craft.
Yeah. What? Do you know what it is?
I don't know what it is, but it's got these like laser beams that looks like it's got like lightsabers hanging on the end of it. I saw that in the trailer to come, but
yeah, I'll find out that that'd be a sick one to do up. To get that it's a really cool looking ship. But let's get into it. Let's get into Andor.
What about Dylan? Wait, Dylan, mate. What about you? How's the new house coming along? Any new Star Wars things on your walls?
House is good. Nothing Star Wars, as you can see. My walls are still pretty bland. I've actually reached out to our buddy Brincat for some prints that I want to purchase off him to decorate. So I will be finding out the sizes of some canvases and see if I can get them printed. But
are they Star Wars photos or just general?
It's just general.
Are you looking for a leg up into the mobile banking division, or
no?
Okay, so you're just buying some art from the mobile manager
and you know what? He
curry good favour.
Mate, he was so good that he said, I asked him, look, I'll pay you for them. How much do you want? He said, I'll charge for whatever they are doing for the printing. What a bloke.
That's what a good bloke. Speaking of Brincat, when I moved into one of my old other places that I lived in 10 years ago, I had this giant space on the wall, and he's like, I'm going to get you a print to cover. Would you feature my work on your wall? I'm like, yeah, I'd love to. And then when he got the quote for the cost of the size of the wall, let's just say that never happened. So in the end, he's like, well, you can have it, but for cost. I'm like, do I have to pay for the gift that you offered me? Oh, I think I end up just passing and getting a mirror. But thanks for the thought, Brinks. Actually, Brinks and I need to record another episode of our Salted Pork podcast.
Yeah, listen, before we get into Andor, how is it so far, Rings of Power? I haven't actually watched it yet.
We haven't watched it. I mean, Callan hasn't watched it.
No, God, no.
Well, and I'm not proud of this. I've watched all the episodes, but every episode, because we watched it like 11 o'clock at night, I've fallen asleep in every single episode, and I've had to rewatch it the next day.
Must be good, Dill. Must be real good.
It's good. Yeah. It's really good. It's really good. It's fucking majestically, like, you can tell, like, the way it's been filmed and the locations and just the special effects and everything. It's movie quality good. Like, you can see, I mean, they spent $500 million on it. So the money has gone to good use. The storyline is just starting to get really, really good. Like, we're
How many eps?
7 episodes in, and it's getting real spicy. And
22? Is it 22?
No, I think it's only 10.
Oh.
Or 12. I'm not sure. I should probably research that before. But what about House of Dragon? You guys watching that?
No, I was too disappointed with the way it finished.
Really?
No, I thought the ending for Game of Thrones was a bit shit.
Yeah, okay,
so.
But just park that aside, Dill.
Right.
Channel all your negative energy, leave it with the series, okay? It was bad.
Yep.
And then just start again and give it a chance, because trust me, like, it's so good. I'm loving it.
Are you saying you haven't watched it at all, Dill?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you've just been a hater because it got...
No, I got a shitty ending. I'm not watching it.
It's shit's all over. It's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
There's dragons. It's fucking that. They're fucking sick.
It's good. We are living, like, it's seriously, like, the wait for Andor is so short, because on Wednesday, I'm like, woo, Andor, woo, woo, woo. And then on Friday, I'm like, rings a bell, woo, woo, woo. And then on Monday, I'm like, Game of Thrones, woo. That's the only thing about our episode. Woo.
You don't have enough serotonin by the end of this, mate.
It's different. Like, I mean, like, Rings of Power is so heavy and dense, and every episode is like an hour and 10 minutes. It's fucking long.
Yeah,
and
wow,
then,
okay.
And then today's Game of Thrones, like public holiday, Sunty went to bed at 12:45. I'm like cleaning the kitchen because my wife can't do anything, like literally anything until her OCD has subsided. That means, cleaning everything. And I'm just like, can we please watch the Game of Thrones now? Because I want to podcast tonight and I don't want to be thinking about it while I'm podcasting. And it was good.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it after this. My whole couch just got picked up. So I'll send you a photo of what I'm watching. Watching the.
What are you watching on a milk crate with a towel?
It's basically that. Yeah, it's this shitty old little sofa, and it's like barely. It's like a tiny little. Oh, it's funny. Watching a 75-inch TV. Let's do it.
Oh, Andor. Let's go. Tell me, Del, where were you? When did you watch this for the first time?
Well, like the first 3 episodes.
First 3 episodes. Where I didn't even get to. Took me 4 days to get to it.
Let me paint the picture. Didn't watch it on the Wednesday like we would normally watch anything on release.
I know.
I sort of gave it a couple of days. I'm like, look, I'll
to ferment.
Yeah, I need to manifest, Matt.
Manifest.
To ferment. So I say to Mia, I know that you want to watch it with me. She asked me, oh shit, Andor's out, and I said, yeah, I know. Have you watched it yet? And I said, no, I haven't. I said I'd wait for you, so I'll wait. She said, oh, thank you. She comes over on the Friday. We sit down, and I said, it's going to be a few hours of viewing, right? And she's like, yeah, I'm good. So we're sitting there on the couch, just here, me and her with a couple of snacks, and we ordered in for dinner. First episode goes by. I'm like, okay, this is interesting, cool, enjoying it. Episode 2 comes. I'm like, is that it? Third episode comes. Holy shit. I was fucking amazed. I'm like, I'm so glad they released this in a three episode premiere, because if it hadn't have dropped as a 3-episoder, I probably wouldn't have kept watching for, I would have watched it every week, but I think I would have been disappointed. But very, very, very happy with it so far. And
they played well together, episode, the three played well together, yeah.
Absolutely. And this last episode I watched on Friday as well. So seems like it's going to be a Friday viewing thing for me.
Mm-hmm. So, Cal, what about you, mate? How did the first 3 episodes hit for you?
Yeah, I loved them. It's like, it's an origin story. Do you know what I mean? And I love that we already know that he dies. Do you know, we know Rogue One and what happens. And I thought there wasn't too much harping on him being a kid, probably just enough. Painted, so like, I actually don't mind the jumping around. I fucking hate it in books for some reason. Like, when I'm visually watching it, it's different. Like I talked about that. I remember when we were reviewing the book, and I was trying to read the new books of the High Republic, and I just can't pay attention to just doing this, doing that. And but watching it, it just played really well. The score was really cool, and I agreed. The 3 in a row made it way better. I watched them a little bit, like did 1.5, and which is something happened to kids, and I didn't go back to it. Then I went back and just watched it, like from 2 again all the way to 3, and it was I really enjoyed it, and it made me pretty hyped. I just love that there's more than one season.
Oh, yeah. And we were waiting so long. And I tried to watch it on the Wednesday, but then my wife bloody scheduled her family meeting my family for the very first time ever. And I was like, oh. And we had this amazing dinner, and then, had lots of wine. And then we cleaned up, and then I'm like, Andor. And like at 11 p.m., and I lasted like 10 minutes, and I'm like, and I watched the whole first episode, but I slept through the whole thing. And my wife's like, we're going to bed. And I'm like, but I'm going to stay up and watch Andor. She's like, no, go to sleep. And I kept watching, and I fell asleep again. And I'm just like, it's okay. Tomorrow I'll try. And then I think I had a wedding or something the next day. I'm like, fuck this. Yeah. And eventually I got to it on the weekend, and it's great. Like, it's slow, but it's dense, as in heavy on the character development. You're learning about his whole origin story. He's sort of, it's like Apocalypto meets Star Wars. And what I love about it is it doesn't feel like Star Wars, but it's set in the Star Wars world. Like, it's not cameos and lightsabers and, Mandalorians flying around, and which don't forget, I fucking love that too. But this is just so different, and it feels like a political UK style drama set in the Star Wars world.
I've read I've seen a few things that people say it's not really Star Warsy. It's like based on like Blade Runner and some other things. Good. I fucking love that. I actually think it's Star Warsy because I always wonder. We've talked about it before. I love the detail and shit, and but this is like I always wondered what happens. Like when I saw the latest one, when you see Coruscant come up, I'm like, fuck, yes. I was like,
that was
how
awesome.
good was it to see Coruscant like in the day?
Exactly,
I've never seen
and the detail, 100% deal.
Coruscant from the day, it looks just completely different.
Like those drones and stuff, like the sort of the
Have
drone
you not seen
images.
the prequels.
But like I don't think I've ever actually paid attention to it. Is what I mean. Like, and there was such a big focus on it as they were coming in.
Exactly.
I don't think you've paid attention to Andor exploding either. But
yeah.
But it wasn't like it's not the big fancy buildings like you say. It's the hey, come meet me in my little office, and some guys get slapped by his mum, and all these little they're little detail bits. We're not worried about the big fancy Jedi. I was like, fuck, if we see the temple, it's a bit of a fucking G up. I actually expected to get that little gift to come out.
Why would the temple be there? I'm pretty sure Palpatine destroyed it immediately.
I mean, you see something that they tried to throw, like, you know what I mean? Like throw something in for fan service. It wasn't there. Like, so it was just the detail was good. I'm loving it so far. And I think episode 4 was a real cracker as well.
Well, let's go back to episode 1, 2, and 3 quickly.
Yeah.
I've got to say that.
I forgot you guys haven't talked about it yet.
As a man of Latin, no, that's the thing. We
did last
we had
week.
Catherine on for the week before for the pre-show, and Catherine has been a very busy lady this week. She has been on. I'm not kidding you. She's been on our podcast, Star Wars Spelt Out with Josh, Blue Harvest, The Sith List. Jesus. And last night she was on the live stream with Deb from Star Walking.
That's cool.
Because she's pretty much got the role of Andor's biggest fan for the last 4 years. So very happy for Catherine. And so I messaged her yesterday. You're saying you're bigger than Pitbull, Mrs. Worldwide. She's literally everywhere I listen or look, she's there. So now she's loving it. And but anyway, back to Andor, episode 1, 2, and 3. And as a man of Latin descent, and I'm sure my wife, thank God she doesn't listen. Sorry, but how hot is Bix, the rebel spy, the conduit for bringing in Luther?
His ex, you see, or what? Like the possible. Oh man, she's smoking.
Oh wait, no, yeah. Now,
who do you think we're talking about, Dill?
We're talking about Marva.
Yeah, no, I'm like
the only hot person in the whole thing. Outside of Diego.
I was thinking, is it like a fine wine? Is like as I'm going to mature, am I going to have like a different taste in women? Fucking hell, Jesus!
No, just a smoking hot woman. That was like, there's a lot of firsts in this. Like, this is the first time sex has ever been sort of insinuated or portrayed. Like, I mean, it's obvious that's what happened. It's the first time anyone's ever said shit.
I didn't even hear that.
You didn't hear it?
Oh, maybe I didn't think it was the first
fomenting
song.
Guy said shit when they were under attack.
Oh, he's the funniest fucking character.
He stole the show. I mean, him and Cyril Khan, who everyone's saying looks like Gabe from The Office. Yeah, Gabe from The Office is all grown up. So
that's true. He does too. That is funny.
Touching on what you said, Matt. Like. And I think we spoke about this with Catherine, in the pre-show. We were told that it was going to be a much more adult-focused show. And we have seen through the themes that they're portraying, and I think the storytelling itself is much more mature than, we're off to see the Wizard of Oz, sort of point the picture and off you go. Whereas there's a bit more layers involved here. You know what I mean?
Leia, L-A-Y-E-R, not L-E-I-A.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. I was hoping for a Vivian Lyra Blair cameo, but It might be coming with Jimmy. Jimmy Smith's be out there soon. But no, I loved episode 1, 2, and 3. And I thought 1 and 2, were definitely sort of building groundwork and foundations and character development. And then, we've got this sort of semi-protagonist security guy that's the only one who's trying to investigate what's going on with Andor.
Oh my God, he's the funniest character on the face of the planet. He plays it so well.
He's so intense. He reminds me of Aaron
Alley,
Alley,
Dylan.
Dylan.
The biggest fucking pussy on the face.
No, I see it.
Of who?
Yep.
Who'd you say?
One of the guys from our work.
One of the intense guys from our work. And Erin actually started listening to our podcast, so she'll probably dob us in now.
Well, I'm just about to say he looks like the biggest fucking pussy in this show, and it is so funny, man.
His actions now, he now lives with his mum, so that makes it intense. But it was just so good. And episode 3 was just action-packed, full-on, the standoff between sort of Andor and Luthen, and then, you're learning that side of the story. And then, I couldn't wait. When episode 4 came out, I watched it I'll tell you, it comes out at 4:51 Australian Eastern Time every week. So that's when I send my wife off to pick up my son, and that buys me about 25 minutes of time. And so by the time she gets back, I pause, and then she goes upstairs, and because I'm allowed to watch. She's not a fan of Andor. She says it's too slow. I'm like, okay, and I'm allowed to watch it on my own. But she's Rings of Power. I'm not allowed to watch that. House of Dragon, can't watch that by myself. Andor, I can watch by myself, so that's sweet. But yeah, I watched it as soon as I got it, and this week I was fist pumping. Coruscant, Mothma, fuck, and then Luthen's bloody. And I sent this to you guys in the chat today. His
little gallery.
There's no fan service, but there is little tidbits of information, and there was.
It's history, right? It's a rich history.
Star Killer's
Galen
statue.
Marek. Oh, that's so sick.
Plo Koon's mask.
Yeah.
Wookiee horn, Wookiee helmet, a Twi'lek Kalikori. This is all. And then there's pieces of the world between worlds.
There's the Gungan shield as well in the back.
Gungan shield, yes.
Yeah.
So much rich goodness. And seeing Mon Mothma, famous from Return of the Jedi. I'm so excited to see what she's doing behind the scenes. Because she's the face of the rebellion and the brains and the sort of idealistic good girl about it. Whereas Saw Gerrera is the terrorist, and that those two work together. And I'm guessing that Luthen works as the conduit between them, and or maybe. I'm not sure, but basically, that they're gonna. I wonder who this new person Mon Mothma wants to bring into the fold.
Yeah.
Because this Rebel Alliance is just early stages. It's not an alliance. It's just rebels in random places.
One thing I was wondering was because I thought Luthen and Mothma were, going to be putting up double lives in front of each other, but it very much seems like they're aware of what's happening behind the scenes. Is that your gatherings as well?
What do you mean?
So, so I thought that, Luthen being dressed up in all his gear and disguise was going to be him putting up a front.
That is a front. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So
okay.
he's an art dealer.
Yeah. So when Mothma and him go behind the scenes into that other room and they're talking, it seems like they're giving each other information or they're talking about a plan that is being set.
Yeah, well, basically, they're both very paranoid. Who's your new driver?
Yeah.
He sent his aide to distract him with coins, but they still got to talk in code, and they did speak freely for a few minutes. But basically, they're talking in riddles because what they're doing is treason of the highest order, and if it's basically
Well,
but basically, she can't get money. I mean, you saw in Rebels, they used to have to put Carillion corvettes into space, or remember in Rebels, they can't just give the ships away. They'd have to be stolen by rebels, and they would constantly curse it. They're coming up with new ways to sort of fund the alliance, and I feel like we had I feel like this is going to be every show is going to be a 3-episode arc for every storyline. So,
I was saying the same thing to me. Or it definitely feels like the way they set out that premiere that's going to be the format. It's a couple of episodes to build something and a great big impact in a third episode. And given that there's 24 episodes in the show, it works out in the timeline as well.
No, and I feel like I mean this arc just sort of ended, and it doesn't leave on a cliffhanger, but it definitely leaves you wanting more, and there's more to the story. And I'd love if we get 3 episodes from Mothma. I love seeing Coruscant and the ISB, like
that was
those
cool.
guys sitting around, and you've got there's a lot of Game of Thrones stuff. I mean, you've got the Qyburn from Game of Thrones, you've got the guy from the Vale, and then the Waif, like she's one of the rebels.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just very heavy, and it's great to see. But love
Peter
seeing
Scarif,
the ISB.
Scarif call that?
Yep,
That was cool.
more resources going to
More
Scarif.
construction resources going to Scarif. That was cool.
No, it's very it's subtle. It's not like Gareth Edwards' first 2 minutes of Rogue One, blue milk on the table, and not just like on the table. Zoom in, and focus. Like, yeah, we see it go.
Yeah, it is very subtle, which is good.
Classic Family Guy over-exaggerating the moment and emphasising just that key scene, just that little bit too long until it's uncomfortable.
And then Ponda Barber, Dr. Everson's, that was just like, ugh. That's probably the moment that Catherine Kennedy's like, okay, Tony, what are you doing? What are you doing for the next 3 months? So, but Tony's writing them. He's not, and I think his brother's involved as well, but I'm pumped. Like, it's Monday. We're 2 days away from the next one. And like, I've always wanted to learn about the ISB, and I kind of hope we see Colonel Yularen, who was, he's ISB in
What are the big Imperial, maybe even Navy officers do you reckon we'll see?
I don't know. It's hard. Like, I don't think you'll see. Like, I don't know. 4 episodes in, it doesn't appear to be relying on any fan servicey or big names,
big picture stuff.
No, it seems to be just.
They even commented on that. It's like, we don't have to worry about the Navy. We're this. Do you know what I mean? This is us.
Yeah, it's like, we're not intelligence. We're healthcare. Like, we look for disease.
Funny.
Like, that was great. Like,
before I forget about all the art. You know what I thought, Matt? Straight away, I went, Thrawn would love that.
Oh yeah, it's like,
that's like a Thrawn, like, yeah. I was
he walks in and he's just got his blue goo spraying everywhere. He loves it that much, Just
wouldn't it be amazing if Thrawn buys something from Luthen?
I would do something fucking.
What if it was just like it was that little fan service? He walks in, buys something, walks out.
Where does he fit? Hold on, now that we're talking about it, you get me too excited. Where does he fit? We're at BBY.
We are 5 BBY, I reckon. Thrawn he's around, definitely around. Like,
definitely
he's
not in rank, right?
No, he is. He's probably just Admiral, because he's made Grand Admiral, and then he comes into Rebels season 3. So he's very much in the picture. And
oh my god, that's a hectic theory.
I was chatting with because obviously Director Krennic can't meet Andor, and so how do you get Ben Mendelsohn into this show? And I was thinking, if Thrawn and Mendo fight over the TIE Defender versus the Death Star project to the Emperor, that is a way in which they can sort of get them into the show without actually interfering or hunting anyone in the show.
Because Thrawn's just been a name at the moment, right? In Ahsoka.
Well, Thrawn's fighting for that TIE Defender, who he thinks will be more useful than an enormous space station, which takes up enormous resources.
Oh my lord, there's no way that would happen.
I don't think I'm ready for live action Thrawn.
No way.
I don't know how I'm going to
fucking lose it.
We would need some sort of prep, because
I don't have my white uniform pressed yet.
Let's just say right now,
I think Andor
I'm telling you,
Matt,
you cannot. If it happens, and I haven't watched it yet. No one can even say, "Oh my god, you need to watch it," because I'll know straight away.
Yeah.
I
need to start watching these as they come out. The fucking hell.
Well, when Thrawn hits in, do do I go full Avatar blue that night? Like,
Sleep in it.
do I just blow myself blue?
Yeah, because they did
breath.
mention the Scarif stuff. That's very interesting. It's a throwing shit at the wall, but geez, it would be sick.
But when it's gonna happen in the next 12 months. Ahsoka's coming out. It's being filmed. It's slated for, I think, maybe 8 months from now, 9 months maybe. So
dip him in there right now.
He's the
Imagine
time
if he
is
visited
right.
the art gallery.
Imagine if
That would be the
finishes.
best. Yeah.
And buy
It finishes on the Chimera.
I'll take everything.
I mean, me and Jimmy
Finishes on the
Dice.
Chimera. Yeah.
Oh, it just comes out of hyperspace and
Speaking of the hyperspace, Luthen's ship, you know how quick he entered hyperspace? I actually thought that little detail was awesome. Like, he just sits there into hyperspace, bang, off they went. It wasn't like a big build-up of just, off they went. Yeah, not a big thing to comment on, but just I thought that was awesome.
No, I think his ship's pretty modified, high-tech.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it seems to evade most Imperial radar in it too, because he seems to be going on his side missions, and I think his front must be art dealer / I don't know. He seems a bit over the top, sort of. He seems to need to get into character, like almost a bit of a weird
Phoenix
facade. He had to like put it on. Like, okay, I need to ham it up now. Like, got my wig and everything. So I'm very excited to see where it goes. I mean, 4 episodes in, we're 1/3 through, and it's been so heavy and dense. But it has to be drawing towards some enormously climactic event. And I just can't wait for that, what it'll be.
You think like it is in the next couple episodes or towards the end of the season?
How many episodes do we get?
12. We're getting 12. So this will keep us...
still early days.
Early days. So what are we, 3rd of October? So 8 to go. That'll basically take us to the end of November.
Well, this attack, like we're on to episode 4 now, obviously, but this attack they're going to do, surely that's a couple episodes long.
Well, I think it's not going to be massive attacks because the rebellion is only in its formative days, but you'll have Saw Gerrera come into the picture at some stage, and he'll fuck shit up.
A young Saw at that.
Young Saw with hair and feet. We might see Borgullet.
Borgullet.
Borgullet knows the truth.
I don't know. I think
So Cal's off with the fairies here, man. He's just fucking in a different world.
Thrawn. You fucked me with Thrawn so
He
bad.
can't stop thinking about Thrawn.
So bad.
Callan, do you like, before you go to sleep, do you just listen and picture a world where Thrawn exists?
It's just going to be so sick when he comes. I just haven't thought about it in ages, and now that I'm thinking about it, fuck, it's just going to change the game. I'm telling you, Dill, when you read the books, you'll be like, how isn't this shit a fucking movie or a TV series?
Coming. I think it's coming.
It's like, it is like how, because he talks directly to the Emperor, all that sort of shit, like, and he's just a schemer, and he's just the best fighter. Like, oh my God, man.
I'm calling in 2023, there's an announcement of just a movie called Thrawn.
That would be sick.
That'd be sick.
Like my brother knows how much I love
now.
Thrawn. He sent me that photo I sent you guys, and it was like some American car with a blue number plate, and the number plate Thrawn. I was like, fuck, I want to meet that guy.
Did you look up how much it costs to get in New South Wales?
I wonder if it's available
I'll have a look right now for you.
on the RTA website. This car with a blue number plate. What kind of car was it? I don't even know.
A Tesla, wasn't it?
No, I think it was like an Alfa Romeo or some sort of brand like that.
It had some sort of, I don't know. I'll put it up on our photo cover page. But yes, that was a sick. He knows how much I love Thrawn. He's like, this guy beats you for Thrawnage. I was like, yes, he does. And I sent it to Jimmy Dice from the Scruffies. He's like, is that your car, dude? I'm like, I wish.
Yeah,
Matthew.
It's available.
see the green text there? You probably can't read it, but that green text says
Available.
this combination is available.
Well, for now, the Jedi 07 will have to do. Although today I was driving and this guy reminded me of Chris Hall, like tattoos all over his legs, like Darth Maul on one side,
nice.
Qui-Gon on the other, Star Wars t-shirt on and a Star Wars tracksuit on, walked past my car, didn't give me one bit of a look. I'm sitting in the Jedi mobile. I was
peering out the window.
I was peering out, waiting for the Star Wars nod, like
Nothing.
This guy
didn't even give me a time of day. I was like, check the number plate. We're buddies. Got a podcast.
I was going to say, I'm so curious if Matt, you've ever been out there in the world with people you may only have met in a short span of time, and I've got a podcast.
Oh, you should see it like when I'm at JB Hi-Fi and when I was like buying the Shure microphone or something, I can't remember what. They're like, what you gonna do with that podcast? Like, tell me about it. Like, I'm like, it's not a big deal. It's just like three guys like, tell me more. I'm like, well, we meet up and we talk about Star Wars. And like, that's so cool, bro. That's the way to use the equipment properly. I'm like, thanks. I'm like, it's actually not that much. It's not that much hard work. It's actually hard getting my other co-pilots to join me on time.
Hey, we were early today, 9:20.
We were early today. I think Cal's in such a rush to watch House of Dragon. He's just thinking about Thrawn and Dragon. Thrawn and Dragons.
No, it's gonna be a cracking week. So Wednesday, 4:51.
4:52.
4:52.
I am pumped. It's going to be a good one. I feel like it's building towards something big, and I'm going to be watching it Wednesday for sure without fail. I don't know about you guys.
I'll have to try and arrange for a Wednesday viewing.
Get your Wednesday viewing in.
I'm telling you, Dill. If Thrawn comes on the screen, I'm fucking spoiling it.
I will not say a word to you.
No, I'll probably end up spoiled. I'll probably go nuts.
If I get a message from in the group chat with holy fuck,
I feel like you won't be able to get away from it on socials and shit.
Callan might actually post on Twitter for once, Matt.
What's Twitter?
Cal hasn't tweeted for about a month.
I just need to open the app.
You're no better, Dylan. And
I've fallen off. Not gonna lie.
My aggressive tweets continue at a major constant. I've been tweeting.
Matt holds up enough for us.
Oh yeah, I did the work of 3.
Once I changed back to iPhone from my Samsung, and I haven't reinstalled Twitter just for the fact of I'm not seeing fucking notifications every 2 minutes.
Oh, were you getting a notification every time I tweeted?
Because I favorited our pod. It's just like TMABY commented, posted, tweeted.
Something called
replied.
Managing notifications. You should give it a whirl. You can turn it off.
He's just muted me. No, he's just stopped. Yeah, basically, it's a good thing is that everyone knows that that's just me now. I don't even use my personal Twitter now. I'm just the pod. I am the podcast.
I am the
You're
pod.
fermenting.
I'm a fermenting podcast, but no, it's going to be good, and we're going to get Frosty on in a couple of weeks at a time. Let's. I'd love to see his thoughts on Kenobi, and Andor today. I actually think he'll like this. This slow burn of a show. It'd be more his cup of tea, and but now I've got some guests coming up. We need to catch up with Struthers and get some of the Scruffy boys on. So we will look to do that. You're gonna have to make yourself available with your daylight savings and stuff, but we'll get there. But I think that wraps it up for tonight, boys. I think it's been good. Keep it a nice, short, sharp one, and we'll be back next Sunday night or in 6 days' time now. I'll try and edit this one real quick. Probably Thursday, Friday at the latest. And I'll see you boys soon. May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with all of us.